Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MarTech Masters. Today, I have Danny Wajcman from Lucky Orange. He's the co-founder of Lucky Orange. Hey, hi, Danny. How are you doing?
Hey, Gabriel, great to see you, and appreciate the opportunity to be here and chat with everyone.
Thank you for coming, and thank you for doing an homage to our Floridian experience. Please share everything you have ready for us. Nobody has ever been so ready for a video shoot with us as you. So thank you. So why don't you tell us, first of all, tell the audience who you are and a little bit of what Lucky Orange can do.
Sure. Well, again, my name is Danny Wajcman. I'm the COO and co-founder of Lucky Orange. And Lucky Orange is really, the best way to describe it is a software that helps to, well, we like to say almost pull back that digital curtain so that any website owner or stakeholder within an organization can really have better understanding of what anonymous users are doing on their site, or some of the members that you may have are doing. And then using these insights, you can see really what's working, what may not be working, what's causing frustration or errors, and ultimately leading to abandonment on your websites.
Of course, and that gives you a lot of data to do optimizations over time and make your website grow over time, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think when you think about what we do as far as like the solution side of it, and who really we're trying to aim and solve for, you think about really now more than ever. And part of the reason why we're doing this is, during the COVID and the relief and how we're seeing things change. But more people are spending money to drive traffic to their websites.
Mm-hmm.
And they're hoping that once those people get there, obviously they hope they're going to buy something, sign up to become a lead, to be contacted for more information. And this is definitely true when I say now more than ever, because I'm sure you saw last week Shopify's CTO said that they are experiencing Black Friday level traffic across all their websites. And this is middle of April, when people are either paying for their taxes, hoping to get a little bit of a tax refund. You really don't see this kind of surge right now. And to see this happening right now, it's an amazing time.
Definitely, a lot of opportunities. The same way there's a lot of downside and a lot of pain throughout the crisis. There's also a lot of opportunities, and I think that's something that it's been coming up with everybody that we talk out there in the business business world. There are also opportunities, and those are the positives of this whole thing. So yes, we're going through trying times. People are trying to send more people to their websites. Websites are seeing, some industries, we've been recognizing three kind of groups. One group that's really affected, nothing is happening, and they're going through a really tough crisis, like, I don't know, the vacation industry, all those things, hotels and all that stuff. But then you have in the middle, you have companies adapting because their industry is just shifting, maybe healthcare with telemedicine and things like that. Those people are going to see a big influx of new and different potential traffic to their website. And then you have some industries that are growing incredibly, and they're seeing that, like shopping carts and stuff like that. So when you see all these changes, what are some of the things that people can do to optimize their website, and what are some of those opportunities that we're talking about?
Yeah, and I think you bring up a good point, which is maximizing the potential and the value of every visitor you have right now. Whether they're just stumbling across you for the first time, or you're actually paying money to bring people to the site, every visitor has a story to tell. And you say across the average, across all these different industries, right now, for every 100 people that visit your website, you're really lucky if one out of those 100 people will buy your product, sign up, become a lead. And that's a very common pain point is, well, what are all these people doing? And so that's really what we aim to do, is help you identify what's happening there. So in a very real world example, let's say we wanted to analyze what some of those 100 people were doing, where throughout their navigation on the site they started to drop off, and how does Lucky Orange assist in this? Well, let's say back to like an e-commerce example, we see that using Lucky Orange, you can run a conversion funnel. And what a conversion funnel will tell you is, as they start on your homepage and then view products and then add them to cart and putting in the billing and shipping, moving further down this funnel, you're going to have drop off. And a conversion funnel might indicate that a large part of your abandonment might be happening around the shipping page. So right away, you have a nice insight of, hey, I'm losing a lot of potential sales right on my shipping page. So then you can jump over to another feature we have called session recording or session playback, which is almost like watching a movie of how users anonymously interacted with that page. And here you might learn something. You might see that those who are on these pages are trying to fill out the form and they're encountering some friction. Our form analytics reports would probably tell you that you have certain fields of your form that are often repeated a lot because they're confusing, or certain fields get abandoned. So right away, you've been able to identify where you're having drop off. You're able to see it happen both in real time, and then I verify it with some reporting. And then while you can use these insights to make meaningful changes, a nice other feature Lucky Orange provides is the ability to have real-time dialogue with people on the site. You can turn on our chat, you can turn on polls or surveys, and really learn from the users before they have an opportunity to abandon. Because most of these people have high intent to convert, and if they are leaving your site, they're probably going back to Google and clicking on the next search result, which is likely a competitor.
Definitely. The other thing that we've been seeing, again, not even in shopping cart websites, with any kind of website, when you look at the heat maps and you understand where people are clicking, sometimes we see the simplest change, the simplest thing you can find is people clicking in a place that there's no link. And that's right. the biggest mistake and the simplest mistake at the same time is people expecting something to click through and not going there. That's something you can fix very easily, and it will improve the user experience. And you can find little nuggets like that all the time when you're analyzing the data that Lucky Orange gives you.
Totally, and I think that's one of the things we really want to say is we want to take the guesswork out of optimizing a website. We really want to take the guesswork. You don't need to get a lot of different heads together at times. It's helping. You want to bring your teammates in. Sometimes there's such obvious findings and insights. And in heat maps, as you articulated, is really one of the easiest way to do that. And another heat map we like to talk about is called a scroll depth heat map, which will tell you for any page of your site, how far down do people scroll? And you can see, is it different on desktop versus mobile? And I think oftentimes as we're building our websites, we like to almost kind of bloat our pages with a lot of value propositions and testimonials and quotes. And by the time we do all this, our call to action gets so far down the page that most people don't even see this call to action button at all. And again, that's the value of something called a scroll depth heat map, is you can really instantly see, our majority of visitors even seeing my button, and should I move my button further up the page just to get it even seen more. So yeah, there's a lot of readily available insights when you start really being able to, again, pull back this digital curtain and see what's happening on your site.
Of course, and that, again, those little optimizations that you can do over time will make a huge impact, because every single one of them will allow users to have a better experience, to be able to click through to the right place, to be able to go through the form and actually not get stuck on something that doesn't make sense, or not have too many fields, or not get stuck on too many steps on a shopping cart. Maybe you realize that, like you said, all the people, or most of the people, are being lost on this step. Maybe this step has an issue. Maybe there's a programming issue. Maybe there's a question that doesn't make sense for that specific audience. So you can find all these little nuggets over time and get the website to get better and better, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Another very real world example, because I know we've talked a lot about e-commerce, but a huge people out there are just maybe looking to line up business for after, once some of these restrictions are released, and they're just doing a lot of lead gen. And so they're going to send a lot of traffic to a page that has a very long form to submit, where maybe it's your name and your last name and your address and maybe some financials or things like that, or your project size. And while that information is helpful, every time you ask for more pieces of information, you're going to see drop off, and you're going to find that happens through form analytics and other things. So sometimes what we recommend is just using a little Lucky Orange survey that just says, you want to be contacted for a free estimate? Give us your email address below. We've seen little quick submissions like that grow the number of leads, 5x, if not 10x or more for companies, simply by just making it easier to submit smaller bits of information.
Of course. Let's talk a little bit about messaging and tone. Like, have you changed the messaging? Do you have any advice on companies, optimizing their website? Do they have to review their content on the website? That's one of the things that we've been talking about a lot during a crisis or during a specific event. What have you seen out there? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think it's almost a time now where you can pause for a moment. It seemed like there was almost this rush to, okay, quickly, how do we change the messaging on our site? And how do we show that we're part of this and in the
COVID
fight with
ready
everybody.
or whatever.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. And I think really it's almost taking pause and saying, not how I do it, but if we really need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And the difference there, I say, is if we're talking about COVID-19 communications and people wanting to be on top of it. I almost use this as an example. I was watching TV last night, and there was a time maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks ago that all of a sudden the first COVID-19 commercial came on.
Yep.
We're in this together. We're alone together.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's something. And then last
And
night I realized it was commercial after commercial after commercial. And while I think that's nice and empowering, I couldn't tell you the brand it was for. I couldn't tell you the product it was for. So I think at some point there is a sense of fatigue that comes in. And not to sound jaded or moot, but for a large part of our population right now that might be on a little bit of a financial crisis too, when I come to your website and you tell me we're alone together, that's a nice sentiment. But unless we're going to be alone together and you're giving me a discount on the pair of jeans I'm looking for, that's really the messaging I'm looking for right now. So again, I think we need to be real and authentic with what our messaging needs to be. I think another really good example of this is Google just came out with, if you use their optimized product, the ability to instantly add a banner to your site that says you're COVID-19 prepared. But unless your business is fundamentally changing, your hours of operation, your supply, or things like that, but if you have nothing to communicate that doesn't materially impact how you're doing business, then again, the messaging can get lost.
Definitely. It's a case by case scenario. Like we've had one example is telemedicine. A lot of doctors are already into telemedicine, and some doctors are adapting their strategies, not just marketing strategies, but their business strategies to also provide telemedicine. That's a good example of, okay, you have to convey the message of this is how you're going to communicate with us. This is how you're going to schedule your telemedicine appointment. And this is how it's going to work. You're going to have the doctor on Zoom on the other side. Like that, we're actually helping our customers create videos explaining. And actually, it's pretty cool because something that you mentioned, the authenticity comes through when you have a doctor at their house through Zoom with not the best quality, just explaining, you're going to talk to me. So then you get that connection. But you can't do that if your business is not fundamentally changing because of the situation. Authenticity is always important, but nowadays it's even more important. I love that point that you made.
Yeah, and I think I'll probably end up throwing my parents under the bus here in a few different examples, but they're all they're your parents, and that's what you're supposed to do. They embarrass you, you embarrass them back. But my mother's a nurse, and when this all started happening, and her doctor's office was switching to telemedicine, I got the panic phone call after panic phone call. How do I turn my video on? How do I turn my camera on? Can they see me right now? And I think the fear that some people feel right now is we are ill prepared. But the reality is that really nobody was prepared. And I think there is a sense of empathy that's even felt in both directions. I think in some regards, you go to a website and you expect a great experience, but I think to some degree right now, everybody's a little more empathetic both directions. And that goes back to that authenticity point, which is it's okay to say, hey, we're a little bit behind on shipments, or we're trying to figure this out, or we're changing our practices, but we're doing it with health and safety in mind. Those are those real authentic COVID adjustments that people rally behind. I think more so than just putting #alone together on your website, it's the here's how we are changing our practices to help you.
I agree. And I believe that the empathy is also being seen in the quality of video, and like nobody's expecting everybody to have crisp, even though quality, we always go for quality and we try to make the best to show that it's not hard to do it. But at the same time, Jimmy Fallon and all these other shows are running shows on their phones and with bad lighting and all that stuff. And we're enjoying them maybe more than ever because it comes out more authentic and more personable too. So it's like we're understanding more like what's going on too because of the situation.
It's definitely a little more stripped down and grounded. So for sure.
Definitely. Any other ways that Lucky Orange can help? I know Lucky Orange, you have a whole array of tools. You mentioned heat maps. I believe one of the biggest, my favorite tool is the live recording. I love to go and show our customers, hey, this is an actual user going through your website. You see what they're doing, and actually discovering that together with the customers is usually very eye-opening for them. Some of them even ask for it. It's like, oh, can we go look at those videos again? Like it's like a weird way to review analytics. But I believe that that's one thing that differentiates you guys against the competitors. I also believe that, you allow us to track every page. We don't have to run like individual experiments with one page, or you're tracking absolutely everything. But do you want to touch base on some specifics that Lucky Orange can help websites up, companies optimize their websites and communicate better with their audience?
Absolutely. And I'll give you another real world example. And this time I'll throw my dad under the bus and embarrass him just a little bit. So my father owns a small clothing store, and while he's had some brick and mortar in the past, he's been shifting more to online, and mostly through eBay, but a little bit of presence on places like Shopify and Poshmark. And most of his sales is really generated through his eBay store and people searching for the product. And then a few sales a week through, again, places like Poshmark and Shopify.
Mm-hmm.
And over this last 2.5, 3 weeks, he's seen sales, and also I'll say a proud Lucky Orange customer, really quadruple, if not more,
Wow.
from all these other platforms. Again, more people are online right now with a lot of time and not a lot of budget.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's reviewing his insights, and he's actually logged in Lucky Orange, one of the things he did utilize is the real-time ability to watch people on the site. And what he realized is that while he had a range of product, again, in this time where people are being exposed to different websites, Amazon is behind on shipping or only shipping essentials, people just have more time to get exposed to more websites. And what he saw when people were on his site who have never been there before, because he filtered his traffic to like first-time visits, is that there was almost a price threshold of around $20. The simplicity of just handing over a $20 bill, a very low-risk acquisition or purchase. And one of the other ways he verified this is not just in seeing it real time, but he kind of put up a poll that said, what are some of the product ranges you're most interested in? Do you like our $50 products or $10 products, or 10 to 20 range? And overwhelmingly, the response to that poll told people they were most interested in this $10 to $20 price range. I think maybe they thought lower than 10, the quality wasn't there, and in that 20 to 50, it might start into, do I really need this? Is there a better deal online? But right around that $20 threshold, he learned from this poll, is that was really what it did. So he started featuring a lot of $20 products in like a carousel on his homepage. And again, these insights really came from watching people on his site, surveying them, listening to them, and then implementing that feedback. And I think, while that's a real world example, it's really a simplified wash, rinse, repeat methodology that everybody should be doing. Who's coming to my site? What do they want? Why am I losing them? What can I learn from them? Make a change, and then watch what happens.
Exactly.
And what happens. Absolutely. And that's the neat thing. It's like, I think we think these websites are static things, but they're almost a very living thing. And the moment you introduce one change, a whole set of interactions is going to change. And different people are going to react to it differently. And it's our duty and obligation to monitor those and change those. And there's almost a sense of gamification to it. I can't wait to go in and see how people are interacting and doing with it now. But going back to our original example, if 1 out of 100 people convert and you make a change where now 2 out of 100 or even 3 out of 100, doesn't sound like a huge change, but you've now doubled, if not tripled, your sales. And that's a big deal. And oftentimes it's just a simple thing, like we talked about, moving up a call to action, seeing the form they're in. So absolutely, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Danny, for all the insights here. Usually at the end of every one of these episodes, we ask, share whatever you want. This is your time. You want to, promote something for the company, have a message for the world. This is your time. So go ahead and thank you again for not only doing this with us, but also thank you for a great partnership. Lucky Orange has been an amazing partner for us in the several years that we've been working together, and we're delivering a lot more value to our customers because of you guys. So thank you.
Well, we certainly appreciate it. And I would say I would almost be a hypocrite in these times if I came on here to talk about Lucky Orange and in time not give out some sort of offer. So first thing I want to say is this. You guys have been an incredible partner, and this is not something we do a lot, but our typical trial is 7 days, no credit card. But for your audience and your listeners, we're giving out 30 days, no credit card required. Again, right now, more than ever, whether you're new to this, you're a little timid about this, get in there, see what's happening. Don't wait again. Use this as your pre-Black Friday. Use these opportunities to see the surge of traffic, see what's going on. So we're giving out 30 days free. You just have to go to bit.ly/MarTechMasters, and the link will be posted too. But that's for everybody. And then another point I want to call out is that sense of empathy and authenticity. Whether you just signed up, whether you are a paying customer, whether you're thinking about using us, we want to be there for you. You know, your business is more than just business to us. And so as a result, we have our phone support always readily available. We have our chat support available. For anybody that signs up, you're given a free 15-minute onboarding call. And again, there needs to be a human element behind any technology. So we don't want to simply just be a technology provider. You know, we're here to help you. We want to advise you on how to make the most of this. So I want to give a tremendous shout out again to you, the Nexity team, and our partnership. A big shout out to the Lucky Orange developers and account services team and our marketing teams for all they do. And again, I can't thank you all enough for this opportunity to speak with you.
We really appreciate your partnership again and everything you do. And thank you for that discount code. We're definitely going to share it here on the video right there, and also on the blog that we're going to put together. Thank you, Danny, for everything and your time today. And we'll stay in touch. Okay. Stay safe.
Sounds great. Everyone stay safe.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.